Do it again.
Of all the gin joints in all the towns in all the world.
You're listening to Drinks, Jokes, and Storytelling.
A martini, shaken, not stirred.
Don't try and church it up, son.
You can't handle the truth.
I am big. The pictures have got small.
Your first one's on us.
Folks, you're watching Drinks, Jokes, and Storytelling. I'm your host, Mark Riccadonna, and dancing with me is regularly...
Richie Byrne, how are you, brother?
I'm good, man. It's good to see your face. How are you?
Oh, it was a rough night, man. I had a rough night.
What happened?
I'm sitting last night, about 9 o'clock, sitting in my kitchen. I have a TV in the kitchen, okay? We have a door, a slide door, that leads out to our porch, our back porch. You got me? So We're watching. We got the slide door open. We have the screen door closed. Okay, got my porch. Watching TV. We're watching Fringe. Remember the show Fringe? We're binging Fringe. We're watching Fringe.
Fringing.
And all of a sudden, as I'm watching, I hear thud. Like, whack. And I turn, and my wife turns, and we look, and we're like, what the hell was that? And we look down. There's a dove. He hit the fence on the porch. He just must have bang. I mean, he hit it, and he's rolled over. He's like, I'm like, oh shit, man. And I'm like, is he dead? Is he? And I'm like, oh, I don't want to. I'm not good with this shit. It's not my thing. So he's rolled over, and she's like, his eyes are blinking. And I'm like, oh, God, does that mean I have to kill him now? I'm not one of those guys who goes, get a shovel, and chop his head. You know, I'm not that guy. So he rolls over. And now he's like sitting. He's perched, and he's completely fucked up, Mark. He's like fucked up. And he spent the whole night sitting on my back porch, just staring straight ahead.
And going, Richie, call the doctor. God
I got in touch with some people. And everybody I got in touch with, like, I don't want to say any names, so I'll tell you backstage. They were all like, yeah, just leave him there. He'll either come out of it and fly away, or he'll die, or an animal will get him. Like, that was their advice.
Call the foxes and see if they'll come over, maybe.
I sat with him. I literally sat with this friggin' dove till like 2:30 in the morning. And then I got a milk crate, because I read up on it, said, put him in a shoebox, put towel on the shoebox, put him in your garage, and leave him overnight. I'm not doing that. I'm not going near this goddamn thing. Yeah. So I went and I got a milk crate that I have, and I put it on top of him. So he had air, but this way no animals could get in to get him. And I'm figuring I'm going to wake up in the morning, he'll be dead. We wake up in the morning, we take the milk crate off, and he runs. He ran. And he hung out at the porch step, and then every time I went near him, he'd go to the next step, but he wouldn't fly. So all day I called a wildlife rescue, and they're like, take video of him. So I'm videotaping the stupid dove, and he's running, and then so they're like, okay, he looks like he may not be that bad. Like I don't know. He was out all night. He was just sitting. Even when I went out, he'd like move his head, so I knew, dude, this is my life now. I named him Dave.
Dave the Dove.
Dave the Dove. And every time I go out, so now we got water, we got food out there, but I'm worried the other animals are going to come for the food. And just now, before we started, I went out to see if he was okay, because he found a way. He sits down by my fish pond now. He's
in his underwear, smoking a cigarette, watching Netflix.
Yeah. So yeah, he'll be watching Fringe with me later. And I went out to see him, and another bird found him, another dove. I'm sure it's a family thing. I bet, because we have a bunch of doves that live in the area. And as I came out, the other bird flew up into the tree, but he couldn't fly. So I don't know dude, I'm like, why am I involved in this? Why is this my problem? Everybody else has doves and shit. They hit walls, they hit windows, and they die. Not me. I get them as pets, dude. I don't know what to do with them.
Isn't that a Seinfeld bit that the bird comes flying to the wind? They're like, why didn't he move the other bird?
I need Gemini to come over and take care of him for me, if you know what I mean.
He'll be number 7.
So, this is my dove issue right now.
Oh, God.
He looks fine. He's moving his wings. If anyone knows anything about this, please contact me if you're watching.
Everybody watching, just know this is what it sounds like when a dove cries.
There it is. There it is.
Oh,
No, this is what it sounds like when a dove hits my fence.
and then you hear Richie crying.
Yeah. Hey, Melinda. Hey, Bill. Hey, Tom.
Today's a very special day. I think we got to hop right in.
Yeah, I know. I felt bad that I had that stupid story because this guy's probably backstage going nuts. You know, he wants to get out here and get some of that energy off because we love this guy. We love this Canadian.
He was on the podcast when we were just audio, and he was fantastic. It was about the most intense hour I think I've ever spent. And I've been the war zone. I think it's going to happen again. I know. He's wound up. Let's bring him out.
I'm trying to talk to you now because this is the last time we're going to talk for the next hour.
I'll see you in an hour, Richie. Let's bring him out. He's a fantastic actor, fantastic stand-up comic, good friend. Ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy Shubert.
Hey, Shubert.
Oh, hey, there they are. Holy shit, what a heartwarming story, Richie, about you becoming Steve Irwin and spending the evening with a concussed fucking pigeon. It's really, I got a little flutter. No, but you're right. You did the right thing. You should fucking hit it with a shovel in the back of the head. Just fucking play. What happened to the pigeon? I had to fucking whack him. You know, He was wearing a wire underneath his feathers. We were playing a game, The Sopranos. Rules are rules. You know?
Well, I called somebody this morning that we all know, a comic who knows a lot about nature. And I asked him, and that's all I'm going to say. I'll tell you who it is later. And I'll actually write in the private chat. And he was, I don't decide it because he could be wrong. And he's like, just let nature have its way. Whatever happens, happens.
Hey, what fucking comedian knows about nature? That's what I want to know.
I just put it in the private chat.
All right. Well, you tell me later in the back.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
How are you fellas doing during the quarantine? You doing all right?
Doing good, man.
Yeah, a little
call. I was just in a fetal position underneath my end table working on a callus on the roof of my mouth from a loaded revolver. It's nice to have some, interaction.
Jimmy, this has got to be the longest you've gone in, like, forever, right? Without doing comedy?
Yeah, fuck, dude. I'm ready for it to be over. I'm ready for a fucking Chinese hooker from Wuhan province with a fucking runny nose and itchy crotch that sneezes in my fucking cake hole. Let's get it over with. Okay, bring it on. I'm fucking done. All right, I'm fucking done. I'm ready to get back to fucking work here. Okay, I got it. Let's fucking ruin the entire economy. To me now, it's fucking bullshit. I just think that there's an overreach here. We can all go back to work. I'm not worried about it. Initially, I was worried. Now, not so much.
Yeah, because you're not worried now because you're tired of not doing anything. We're gonna go back. It's gonna get ugly.
Thing is, bro, Richie, I was over in South Korea March 2nd to the 9th. I was over there working on a show. I was filming season 2 of this, cross-cultural K-drama called Drama World. That's on the first season's on Netflix, but I did a couple episodes in the first season. They brought me back to do a couple episodes. And I said, fuck it, I'm going to go over. I'm going to make the money. It was a Screen Actors Guild project. I just wore goggles. I wore a mask. I had rubber gloves on. I did everything I was supposed to do, social distance. But everybody was wearing a mask over there. They had everybody putting hand sanitizer on.
Yeah.
That's why they flattened the curves early. And I was in Seoul, which is like 500 miles away from Degas, where the original outbreak, where there were 1,500 cases. So I wasn't anywhere near there. But yeah, I mean, now that we know what they know, I feel comfortable going back. I'll just wear a mask and social distance. Why don't you just fucking tell me to do that at the beginning? Why'd you have to fucking shut down the entire economy? Yeah, I would have just social distance. I would have wore a mask and social distance right out of the fucking gate. Okay.
Well, Jimmy, you've been social distancing for many years.
Yeah, I just because I act like this, and people stay the fuck away from me. My little.
I was gonna say, people have been staying 6 feet from you for a long time.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. When are these people going to start listening to Nostradamus? How fucking right does the guy get? How many times the guy got to be right? You know, he's like fucking 90%. In a twin year, a great plague will come. Just fucking read the quatrains. It says it right there. He predicted World War I. He predicted World War II. He predicted Hitler. Except he was spelled it Hister. He was one fucking letter off, or at least
he wasn't a great typer.
Well, I hope he was talking about fucking Hitler. I'd hate to think there's a guy named Hister coming along that's going to make Adolf look like fucking Tony Robbins. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Fuck, here comes Hister. I thought Hitler was bad. Here comes Hister. Say, fucking everybody run. Here comes Hister.
It's the new sitcom. Here comes Hister.
It's fall on NBC. I know. It's fucking crazy, right?
So the way we start every show is we have a drink. Jimmy, what are you drinking there, buddy?
Coffee.
No shit.
Yeah, but I got booze. I mean, I can fucking do a shot of Patron. I can have a beer. I can make a vodka and soda.
You can do any of it, man. Nobody's gonna tell you no.
Because I'm a fucking grown-up, motherfucker. I can do whatever I want.
It's a little early there, right? It's only a little after 4. So.
Yeah, it's a little after 4, bro. But in the quarantine, it might as well be 5 o'clock as far as I'm concerned.
Shit, what time is it?
You know what I mean? This morning I got up and I had wine with my Cheerios. You know what I mean, bro? Breaking all the rules. Breaking all the rules, bro.
What do you got there, Richie?
I got a little Johnny Black. I went back to Black on the Rocks tonight, bro.
You love your Johnny Black.
Yeah.
I'm drinking a Sicilian wine. Nice at de Blasi. Nice and...
Or as some people call it, Sicilian wine. I want to go to the mall. I'll do anything for a laugh.
I love it. And then we also, the second thing is we have a joke. Jimmy, do you got a joke to share with our viewers tonight?
Yeah, I like my COVID like I like my women. 19 and easy to spread. You know what I'm saying?
Jimmy Shubert, folks.
Too much.
No, just enough, buddy.
No, just enough.
Jokes and storytelling. God
So
forbid you have a fucking joke.
you'd be surprised the amount of comedians that come on here and don't have jokes.
Yeah.
So, So, Shub, what was this show? This show is the Korean thing. It's
Yeah, they're called K-dramas. They're hugely popular around the world. Over in Asia, their equivalent to Netflix is a thing called Viki. It's called Viki.com, which is their Asian Netflix. But they have over 40 million subscribers. And so they create these shows. They're usually popular on that network. And the show is so popular, the first season wound up over on Netflix. It's called Drama World.
Is it a Korean show?
What?
Is it a Korean show? Are the actors all Korean? Are you?
No. The lead is this girl who I play her dad, and she's into these shows. And what happens is she's so addicted to these freaking shows. She has a thing, and she wounds up in the phone in her show, and so she's this cross-cultural. So it's English and Korean, you know.
Right.
And then they come back, but you know, some of the characters come back with her to the real world, and so it's like, you know, they're Korean dramas. And you know, was that movie Parasite was a real big hit at the Oscars this year.
Yeah.
And so they have a lot of you know, the crews over there are amazing. They're much smaller than crews here, and they're very efficient. They probably do like 3 or 4 jobs over there, and so I went over. I had a blast, man. It's my 3rd time in Korea. While I was over there, I had 3 suits made, Richie, because I've had suits made in Hong Kong and in India. But I tell you, the suits, my favorite suits are the ones from Korea. Really good. I think because the so humid in Hong Kong and India that they don't have like a real wool blend, but they do in South Korea. And the suits, they fit like a glove.
Really?
Yeah. It's my 3rd time there. Korean people love me. Look, I may not be much here in America, but in Korea, I'm huge. Fucking big draw in Korea.
Well, our buddy Dan Callahan just wrote in. He said he was watching King of Queens reruns last week and saw a lot of Jimmy Shubert appearances.
Oh, that's nice. That'll come in handy. Cha-ching, quarantine money coming
in
June.
Yeah.
What was it like working on the set? Because you had a lot. We were talking about this earlier. You had a lot of really funny lines. Did they let you?
Yeah, man.
Them,
you know, first off, Gary Gary and Kevin, those guys used to come to Florida and stuff. And we became really friendly. We used to work at a club called Haggerty's down there and comic strip. And those guys would come down. And Gary had a condo there. And we would, and I actually moved there in 92 after Sam died because it was so much club work. And so we became friendly. And then we wound up back up in L.A. And Rock Rubin, who's also a real funny stand-up that I used to work with down there, became one of the writers on the show and created a character called Jimmy, which was an IPS driver. And I wound up doing about 15 episodes. And it was a great, amazing time. It was a fun show to be a part of. Obviously now you look at, Jerry
Stiller,
that passed away. I got to hang out with him a couple times. He was always so gracious and nice. Leah Remini was fun. She was a ball buster.
Yeah.
Kevin was just worked his tail off on that show. He wanted to make it a hit, man. He had so much attention to detail. And it was great. It was like a lot of fun. I worked with Gary Valentine and got to hang out. It was like a big family. Those things are it's like a big family. They kept bringing me back and stuff. So I enjoyed it immensely. And it was a great time because I was doing stand-up 50% of the time and I was acting 50% of the time. And Rock Rubin would always give me a heads up going, hey, we're going to need you this week. Are you open? And so if I had a week, I could move it or rearrange it. So I was able to do some acting and do some stand-up. I did 4 episodes of Entourage, a couple episodes of ER. I got pulled back into the acting thing after
But at that time, this is around what, 1999, 2000? You were in LA
right around that time, like 98, 99. So I was living in Florida, and I went up and I crashed the Montreal Comedy Festival. I wasn't invited, but I figured out a way to get spots there. And there was a guy that ran a club named Jimbo. It was Jimbo.
Yeah, I knew Jimbo.
Yeah, but it really wasn't a festival venue. But the people would go there. They would check out everything. And so I would headline his club the week before the festival. And then during the festival, he'd give me a corporate rate for the hotel. And then I could just pop in and do shows whenever I wanted. And that's Brandon Tartikoff saw me up there and came up and talked to me for 15 minutes about what the deal was. And because he did that, all these other networks like Jack Notes, at the time, Brandon had he had a great eye for talent. That's what he was known for. He discovered Michael J. Fox, and he just was one of those guys. And so they paid attention to what he did, and he approached me, and that got me a development deal at Fox. Actually, they brought me out for a pilot first time. That's what happened. They brought me out for a pilot. I wound up getting a pilot that Bernie Brillstein produced called Youth and Revolt. Jane Kazmarek was the mom.
Wow.
Neil Patrick Harris was the son. I played Jerry, the truck driver. It was this pilot. And literally, I'm at Tampa at Side Splitters on a fucking Tuesday night. I got the phone call from my agent, Ruth Secunda, who said, you got the fucking job. And this was like a month and a half or maybe 2 months because they read a bunch of other people for it. But I didn't realize this till later. Bernie Brillstein, when I went in to read for him, I had to go read for Bernie Brillstein to get this job because they were producing it. And as soon as I walked in, he goes, that's our Jerry right there. He goes, that's our Jerry. And so the network gave him in the studio, and finally they settled on me. So I didn't sleep that night. I flew back to L.A. There was a rental car waiting for me. I drove to a freaking right to set, and then Jane Kazmarek. I go, where'd you study acting? She goes, Yale Drama School. I went, oh shit. Where are you? I was just telling dick jokes down in Side Splitters, the Chuckle Hut in fucking Tampa last night. It was like that was like an amazing experience. And not only great directors, great actors, and then that kind of got me back into, when I went up to Montreal the following year, I got a development deal. I got another development deal after that, and I wasn't even fucking invited, to tell you the truth. I just kept going back with the same plan because it kept working. I kept getting stuff, and eventually that brought me back out to L.A. in '97, and then wound up really hitting the acting thing hard. I had a great manager and a great agent, and I realized that if you do this, I started realizing not only do you get paid for the job you do initially, but there's residuals. You can get health insurance. You get to work, you get the union. And so for me, it was a way, because I love doing stand-up, but this was another way to create alternate streams of income, and get insurance and be part of something that was bigger than just being a comedian,
Yeah. Well, let's play a couple of these clips from King of Queens, their view They crack me up, man.
Driver.
All right.
Yeah, and what does he do?
Well, he's wearing the big black belt, so I guess that makes him a loader. From now on, I will be renting my shoes over the phone.
That snack bar waitress with the glass eye just moved up the chart.
So did the alley boy. Barry, the new guy for the loading dock, he's having a Super Bowl party, too. And then there was a year you hired the stripper. He was great. I don't even think his feet can reach the pedals. Watch this. Hey, Sanchez, what'd you say your favorite kind of bagel was again?
The plane.
Was it sesame?
The plane. The plane.
And that was Colin. That was Joey Colin.
Yeah, me and Joey hung out that week, man. I love Joey.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. You know, it's funny because he had one line, or it's like sometimes we had this talk because sometimes it's tougher to just have one line because you have to drop it in, you know what I mean? Rather than having kind of like a, but we hung out that week. We had a blast, man. That was called Driver's Rain, and we wound up hanging out outside while I did the race cars. It was a fun show to be a part of. A lot of fun, man.
Let me ask you something, because we talked about this before you came on. Do you think that joke, the way the world is now, do you think you could do that joke today? That the plane
on a network.
I think they. I think they wouldn't allow
That's
it.
interesting. Well, I'll tell you what. After the quarantine, anything goes. I think I mean, here's the thing. I think this is like a hard reset button for humanity. Here's what the universe did: cancel culture, and the universe went, "Hey, hold my beer. I'll show you cancel culture." It's not fun to not be able to make a living. It's not fun to not interact with other people. How the fuck do you like it? Listen, I mean, they're just fucking jokes, man. And if you can't take a joke, don't go in the kitchen. Don't walk into the comedy club.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what's going on around us. Look at the world. As an artist, you have to compete with the theater of real life, and you can't tie my hands behind my back and say, "Go be funny."
Right.
That doesn't work. Look, I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm just, I'm just kind of a messenger. I report on what I see. I mean, what do you want from me? I mean, I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm trying to make a living. I mean, Jesus. People went nuts on Louis C.K. Louis C.K. masturbated in front of a couple girls. I mean, what? Guy does 2 sold-out shows at the Beacon. You expect him to go home and jerk off by himself? I mean, small, intimate gathering. You know what I'm saying? Is that too much? No. Is that too much? See, now that's a joke. And that's a joke for, should a guy be able to lose his whole living? Should he not be able to make a living because of it? I mean, come on, lighten the fuck up, people. Jesus.
You're a tremendous...
I got news for you. I've been watching this show. On TV called Women Who Kill. Huh? What about toxic femininity? What about those women? Huh? They're fucking marrying old rich guys and fucking murdering them. What about that? I know nobody mentions that. Oh, that's okay. But sorry, who gave me coffee? That was a wrong. I've had so many. No, decaf for Jimmy. Absolutely. I got
it. I have a feeling you're just such a natural ball buster. We saw a clip we'll play from Lucky, which was a pilot.
Oh yeah, this was all. What you need to know about this, dude. This was all improvised.
That was what I was going to ask.
I play cards with one of the fucking writers. And I was busting balls like that. He goes, "Could you do that?" I go, "Yeah, stand back, hit record, and watch what I do." This was all info. And I kept cracking John up. He goes, "Fuck, whatever you're going to say it. Quit switching it up on me," because he would fall out of the chair laughing. All right, and
let's play the clip for Lucky.
Boys, you can read them and weep. Another hand, I win. You stayed in with that? And sleep. You wake up, all your money will be gone, and you won't remember your Uncle Eddie. It looks like I won again. All righty. 8, 9, 10. No jack. You were just one jack off. Yeah. Anyway, I'll tell you what. Why don't you guys just line up, give me your money, I'll kick you in the balls, and it'll be less painful. I love things. This should be illegal. $100 rap. Hey, fruit basket. Little advice, last guy that sat in that chair took it right in the spider bite. I mean, I'm just telling you, if you're gonna sit there, you might as well pull up your sundress, put on your little flowered panties, and spread your cheeks. Because your Uncle Eddie's gonna jam it right in there. I'm gonna tickle you, I'm gonna talk dirty, I'm even gonna give you a reach around. What's that? Hi, I'm Ed.
Yeah, great scene. Actually, that episode was nominated for an Emmy. And the guys who wrote it were Rob and Mark Cullen, two great TV writers.
Oh
they showrunnered on Vegas. They wrote a thing called Back in the Game, where I did a scene with James Caan. Really great writers, two brothers. They're amazing, really good guys. And the Russo brothers, who are huge directors now, directed that episode. So,
no way.
but I love that. Billy Gardell was in it. Craig Robinson was in it. You know, it was a great thing. You know, the critics, everyone loved the show.
Everybody loved it. Yeah.
So I'm surprised it didn't go on for a couple more seasons. I thought it was a killer show, but you know, they put the jinx on it. You know what I mean? You know, this is the best new show, and crash and burn. You know,
right?
But yeah, those guys are great writers, and they let me kind of run with it, so it was kind of awesome, you know, because you're right, I am kind of a natural ball buster. I love that.
I picture when somebody's in a casting office, who plays Saul? I can't think of his name. Better Call Saul.
Oh, Odenkirk.
Yeah.
You go, we want Odenkirk, but mean. Jimmy Shubert, is he available?
Yeah.
Jimmy,
there you go. I have to put it on my resume. He's a mean Bob Odenkirk.
What came first, the acting or the comedy? Did you want to be an actor? And
well, actually, you know what's funny, man? Like when I was 9, I got a magic kit. I started doing magic. Like I was doing shows like 13, 14, 15. I was doing these. You know, I had doves. I had the whole. I'm not even joking.
Don't bring up doves, Jimmy.
No, I didn't mean to set you off, Richie. You go next to you. I didn't mean to set you off. My doves are fine. No, but what happened is I do shows down at the St. Christopher's Hospital. I don't know what it is, man. I'm lucky because I knew what I wanted to do. I went to CAPA. I went to Creative and Performing Arts High School in Philly, and I majored in drama. So we had like 3 drama classes a day. I mean, I just wanted to be Charlie Chaplin. Like really, I wanted to be Charlie Chaplin, man. When I was like 9, and ever since then, that 9-year-old kid that wanted to be Charlie Chaplin has fucking made decisions in my life, you know, like you know. So I'm just lucky enough that I got to do it. You know, the acting thing I was studying, but stand up I was kind of doing both at the same time. I was going to acting classes when I first got to Los Angeles, you know. So I thought it would be a nice career to be able to do both if you could.
Well, speaking about dramatics, we also have a clip from The Heist where you played a security guard. We can play that because...
You know why? Because I'm a methadone actor. Not a lot of people know that about me.
What do you got the smile about?
Prisoners locked down. Ready to roll.
We've got a situation here.
Talk to me, Vic.
Looks like one of his crew. He's holding a woman hostage.
Turn us around. We'll call it in.
You might want to take a look.
Stop the damn van! That's my wife.
Oh, nice. Sure.
You know what that is? That's Rob and Mark Cullen again. Those two guys used me a lot. Yeah, they took over. The Heist was their show. And again, Billy Gardell was in that as well. But yeah, great show. You know, only went like 6 seasons, but I thought it was a killer. It looked really cool. You know, just
what was it on? What station? I don't remember.
I think NBC.
Really?
Know? Yeah, and I ran into that guy who was the gangster, fired his gun in the air about 6 months later on an audition, and he had a leg brace on. So when he jumped in the car, he twisted his knee and he had to get it fixed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, but yeah, man, I like it because it's another way to be creative. You know, it's just you stand up. Look, I'm a natural stand up. I love to do that. That's what I really love to do. But the acting thing is just another great way to be creative. You know, you know, I put the time in. I've studied it. I find great acting, like watch, like some actors that put on performances. It just blows my mind. You know, so it's just there's no reason you can't do both. You know.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah. You want to see great acting? Watch Rick Adon in the opening of the show when I'm telling him the Dove story, how he looks like he's interested.
I'm listening.
I imagine everybody would act like that was a great story if you told them, Richie. And then what happened? And the Dove's still alive, but he's not flying away. He probably got concussed. You know what I mean? And that's why. You know, he probably hit it pretty hard and concussed himself.
See, Richie thinks you're talking about me.
No, I know.
No, the Dove. I know what he's done. I'm talking about the pigeon he spent the night with.
No, it was a dove, man. It was totally a dove.
Do you remember how we met?
Where was it?
It was at the brokerage here in Long Island. Here's what happened. I was at Borgata all week, Mark, and what's his name was opening for me? Colin's cousin. Why am I blanking on his name?
Shoot.
Oh my God.
Tim Cage.
Tim Cage is opening for me in the Borgata. So we had the Friday night and the Saturday night off at the Borgata. And Gage picked up work opening for Jimmy at the brokerage. So the Friday night, he goes in. I'm not there. He goes in and he says to some woman in the audience, "If you like me, I'm Tim Gage. If you didn't, I'm Richie Byrne." So Shubert goes up and starts making jokes. "Oh, I'm Richie Byrne," but didn't know who I was, didn't know. So the next night, I stop at the brokerage, unbeknownst to any of them, just to say hi. And I go up to Shubert. I go, "Hey, Shubert, Richie Byrne." And he goes, "Get the fuck out of here. Who are you really? Who are you really?" He thought Gage put me up. He had to see my ID. I'm like, "No, I'm really Richie Byrne."
Well, you know, it's funny. Tim Gage used to bring a fucking ice bucket on stage.
I was, yes.
Because he would get so nervous. Like he would like get a gag reflex going. I understand that, believe me. As a performer, you know, I mean, I like, you're getting ready to introduce me and you're backstage fighting off a panic attack. You know, I understand. And Tim Gage thought if he just had the bucket there, it would be enough to calm him down. So it was a puke bucket, but it was like an ice bucket. And we worked at a stress bracket. I busted his balls about it.
I know. At the Borgata, he had me stand off stage in case he got sick because he wanted me to run out to, like, in other words, he didn't know. But here's the worst part. He goes, "And you got to hold the puke bucket for him." So I'm standing off stage at the Borgata. You know, like this is the pinnacle. It's the fucking pinnacle of being a comic. I'm at the fucking Borgata holding a puke bucket because I might have to run out and save the guy on stage.
Fucking awesome. Hey, and people think stand-up comedy's easy. I mean, that's like that anxiety affects all of us. I don't know. Look, right. I've been doing this 30. I still get fucking anxiety before I go on stage. I just learned to channel it better.
Right.
But I mean, you know, that happens to a lot of fucking people. Knowing you feel like that, and then to still go out in front of a fucking large group of people is fucking amazing. I mean, that's like, you know, knowing that you could fucking throw up and fucking embarrass and still go out and do stand-up comedy. My hat's off to him. I mean, you know, look, I actually took a picture of it and sent it to Colin. Say, your cousin got to do a puke bucket. He goes, "Shubert, don't make fun. My family has anxiety." You know, we tweeted each other, but you know, I mean, dude, unbelievable. I just and he still continues to do it, knowing that he gets that much anxiety. That's how, you know, how much he loves doing it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
bravo, Tim Gage. Bravo.
I love Tim Gage, and he's so funny. You said something that one day, we have people come up all the time and go, "Oh man, I could do your job," or "Oh, I was
so
killed
funny.
to be
I
a
should
comic."
do that.
And one day a woman came up to me. She said, "Oh man, I wish." She said, I want to do what you do. And my brother was with me, and my brother turned and goes, "If you could, you would." And that was such a great answer. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like, of course, everybody would love to be a comic. You don't know what goes into it. You don't know what it fucking takes, you know?
Yeah, well, you know, it's don't get me wrong. It's not like stepping in a UFC cage, for Christ's sake. I mean, that would be another tough way to make a living.
Don't make me look like a dick now, Jimmy.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not making you look like a dick. What I'm saying is, yeah, if you could, you would.
Right.
If you would put the time in, then you could do it. I mean, that's also why I have a hair up my ass about hecklers. You know, secretly, they'd love to be able to go on stage and tell jokes, but what they want to do is they want to sit there and affect your show because they don't have the courage to get up on stage and do it themselves. Otherwise, they would. And so I always, my new strategy is like embarrass. I let them do 3 fucking shout outs and then I embarrass them because I go, look, you can yell at me all you want. I got one feeling and I fucking dare you to hurt it. You know what I mean? Right. But I'm worried about the people sitting around you because there's a couple behind you. Maybe they had a baby 2 years ago and they just found a sitter they can trust. And this is their first night out in 2 fucking years. And they spent the same money you did to come and see a show. But unfortunately, they sat next to you. And you're such an inconsiderate, narcissistic fuck. You don't care about anybody sitting around you. But anyway, thanks for coming out. But I mean, I try to because I know the psychology of it. It's like, look, don't get me wrong. I like a little give and take with some people, but don't try to affect my show while you sit there in the dark. I will make it as uncomfortable as if you were on stage, your very self. I will make you feel that uncomfortable.
Right. Hey, Colleen, Colleen Danielson just wrote, I forgot about this. Last week we had Patty Rossborough on the show, Jim. Oh, and we worked with her at the Borgata. She had a shoulder surgery and she couldn't, she humps the stool. I don't know if you know her big ending is she humps the stool. She has a stool, right. She humps it. So she couldn't hold the stool and hump it at the same time. So she needed me to come out and hold the microphone for her while she fake humps a stool, pretending she's a guy having an orgasm. So I've been at the Borgata holding a puke bucket and holding a fucking stool for somebody because they can't.
Now we know how you got the gigs.
Yeah, and what am I, the fucking prop guy?
No, because you're a fucking mensch, Richie, because you're a mensch. Because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to support the other performers on the fucking show.
You're right.
Good for you. Good for you for fucking doing it.
Thank you for reminding me that.
Because in the end, bro, you got to serve somebody. What a fucking mensch you are, Richie.
And I love both of them.
I'm sorry I made fun of you the first time I met you, Richie. I'm sorry.
Hey, real quick, not to interrupt, but I do want to bring up, speaking of mentions, we have a sponsor today.
Yeah.
And they're actually awesome people. Hello 422. They're a community page and they help promote local businesses. That everybody should be eating local, buying local, doing everything local.
Absolutely.
Right.
And this is a website. This is a group that's helping that happen in the Philly area, which Jimmy Shubert is originally from.
Yeah, so, I don't go into any of those superstores. I only go. There's a local hardware store that I go into if I need stuff. I don't go to Starbucks. There's a little coffee shop down here that's like a small business. There's a Pagliacci restaurant I order food from. I support all small businesses. I'm done. I'm done buying Chinese products. I'm done supporting these conglomerates. I'm done supporting all of it. I'm small business only.
I'm right with you, man.
I'm done with the Chinese products as well. I'm not buying anything from China. I'm done.
My wife and I just moved. We just moved recently, and we live in Ambler, and they have a thing where there's no big stores, no chain stores in the borough. So and it's a walking town, so you can walk everywhere. You get all local stuff, and 2 towns over they have the big stores and the big hardware stores. But I'd rather go this place here. It's called Dex. They've been around for over 100 years. The actual hardware store is a prison from the Civil War.
Yeah,
it was actually a prison, so it's like
that's
so
cool.
to
I
walk through.
I love places like that. I love little quaint places that have a lot of history. Actually, it's so funny. I heard this great story about this son who was trying to help his dad, take care of bills, and so he takes his dad out and takes him to the bank, and the guy's in there. He's saying hi to everybody and this, that, and the other thing. And the son said, "Dad, you don't have to do this. You get your thing." And he takes him by the delicatessen, says hi to everybody, gets his lunch meat for the week. Hey, Dad, you're gonna have this stuff delivered. Yeah, whatever. And he goes, "Yeah, but that's why I go. I want to say hi to the people I know." He goes, "When your mother was alive, she fell down and hurt herself, and the guys ran out, the manager ran out and took care of her. They called the cops, the ambulance. These people all know me. This is my community, and those people do things for you that you won't get. It's kind of important." I think if the quarantine has taught us anything is that how much we really do need each other. We're a kind of a social species. I mean, boy, do I miss making people laugh. And I'm sure people miss sitting in the club and laughing. I mean, I think it is an essential part of our society.
But you can still make people laugh with your album that you have. You have a new album out.
I do have a new album. It's called Zero Tolerance.
There it is.
It's absolutely 57 minutes of nonstop hilarity. I'm
you
really
enjoyed
proud of this
today's
album. It's probably
podcast,
one
buy
of
it.
my funniest albums. It's 57 minutes. It stops. It doesn't stop. Like, I don't even say, hey, anyway, it's good to be here at Burbank till about 22 minutes in. It's just bang, bang.
Yeah.
That old school set up, punchline, callbacks, set up, punchline, callbacks, body, body, dick joke, body, body, dick joke. I just, some of the stuff is really great. It's been reviewed. You can go to jimmyshubert.com. You can order it on iTunes. It's available on iTunes, Amazon, all digital platforms. You will not be disappointed. I mean, the reviews are in. People have said how much they love it, and just walking around mailman. So I'm a mailman in Long Beach. I'm sitting there delivering mail, laughing like a lunatic. People are staring at me. I was listening to it in his earphones. So, yeah, I was just, I planned to release this in January, and I was all like, why is it going to take so long? May 15th. And now, I'm glad it did come out, because now I'm at home. I can remote the heck out of it. And it did. It made it up on the #1 on the iTunes comedy chart.
Nice.
I don't know where we're at now, but it was to open at 11 between Weird Al Yankovic and Larry the Cable Guy. Then it went up to #8, and then #5, and then #3, and then 2, back down to 3, and then 2, and then 1. So, it's a real funny album. I mean, it's got like 14 reviews on iTunes. I'm proud of it. So if you wanna laugh a lot, go get it.
Jimmy, that's great.
Yeah, man.
I'm just Jimmy. Imagine when he's doing his act. The guy's a maniac.
No.
Do you have any work on the books right now, or is ever like? Yeah. When?
June 4th, 5th, and 6th. I'm going to Rochester, New York. I'm going to stand outside on the stage and perform for people who are in their cars across the street. There's a big parking lot over there.
I did that last week. I did one.
I guess the microphone's going to be cued to a station in the car, and so they can hear what you have. And I'm going to have them beep instead of laugh. I'm going to make sure you put on your 3D goggles so you get the full effect of the show. You know what I mean?
All right.
Hey, listen, it's okay. Open your trunks. Let your friends out now. Like we used to do. I'm just going to make fun of it and have fun with it. Look, I hate to say new normal, because I fucking hate that. I think, what you will realize in 2 or 3 months, and I'm not saying the virus wasn't real and people's lives weren't affected, because they were. But what I'm saying is it's been politicized now. And look, the numbers are out here. Like, there's 2,500 cases in Los Angeles. You shut down the whole state, the world's 6th largest economy. I mean, we've all been sheltering in place for 2 months now. If I had it, I would know. Let's get back to work. I mean, we'll wear masks. We'll social distance.
Hopefully we're all moving in the right direction,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, let's move in the right direction. Let's ease back. But I hate to think that I can't come back there and sit there and have a beer with you guys and joke like we used to.
Yeah,
I don't want that to be the new normal. I like people. I like hanging out with people. You could tell I'm a fucking people person.
Yeah.
Now,
I would put you in charge of customer service at anything I owned.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Hey, I want to return this product. Go fuck yourself. How about that?
I would be nice about it. I would be nice but firm. It's fucking toilet paper. You know you're going to use it. Why you want to return it? Because you bought 2,700 rolls during the quarantine? No, we're not taking the toilet paper back. All right? Go home with you greedy bastards. All these virtue signaling assholes, that's the first thing they did is run out and buy toilet paper. So no one else can wipe their ass. Go look it out, people. Grandma only gets to the supermarket once a week. Gets there on a Thursday, there's nothing. Her fucking granny panties wind up looking like a high school parking lot because you brought 2,700 fucking rolls of toilet paper, you inconsiderate fuck. There was no toilet paper shortage. There was just a fucking shortage of people acting fucking sane. They're all the fucking toilet paper, and now people are in there after they drop a fucking sewer pick. No. So no, you can't return your toilet paper. Yeah. I'd like to speak with the manager. Hi, I am the manager. Get your toilet paper and get out. No,
Jimmy, please.
The real reason the toilet paper was flying off the shelves because back then, anytime anybody coughed or sneezed, people shit themselves. But now that we've got a hold of it, now that we got a hold on it, now that we know, so we're all good.
Hey, my dove shit himself last night after he was.
Yeah, I'll bet he did. He probably had. That's why he flew into the window because he had the COVID. And the COVID-19, he lost his sense of direction. Fucking smacked right into the window, Richie.
Jesus,
Jimmy, you are too much, man. I do miss.
Come on, dude. I gotta be honest, man. I'm so like over this thing now. It's like, look, I'm not gonna be afraid of people. I'm just not.
Yeah,
look, when my time comes, my time comes. Listen, I try to take reasonably good care of myself. I don't have any pre-existing conditions. I know some people do, and the older population certainly. So let's let them shelter in place. Let's look out for the most vulnerable people in our society, and let's the rest of us get back to work. I mean, I just, I miss making people laugh. I'm sure a lot of people would love to just get back to work.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not as scary. Like initially, and of course, it's the media again. They made this thing out, to be, and then when the numbers came in, you realize that it's not, that they made it out to be much worse than it is. The numbers don't indicate that. They were pumping in the data into the models all wrong. The models are way off. And now, let's get back to work.
Well, I think we did a good job as a country, and now it's time to start moving in the right direction.
They asked us to stay home, and we sheltered in place for 2 months. We did what you said. We did exactly what you said. And now you're going, well, 3 months. No. You're not a fucking feudal king. I'm not your servant. You work for me, asshole. I voted you in. All right?
I love you,
Jimmy. I'm going to follow your orders?
When are you going to run?
What?
When are you running?
President Shubert.
President Shubert, boy. I don't know, bro. I got kind of a dark history. I don't know if I can. Well, I guess,
Nobody cares anymore.
I mean, Jesus. I don't. Who knows, man? Who knows?
Jimmy, you would be great. The man of the people.
I would be the people's champion. Jimmy Shubert. Smiling Jimmy Shubert, the people's champion in 2020.
You got my vote.
Yeah, well, then the video will come out. Me and that girl doing the thing. Next thing you know.
Nobody cares anymore. Nobody cares anymore.
No, people care, but the difference is no one will care about Shubert. They expect it.
Yeah. Hey, I'd be surprised if it didn't bang those two girls.
Yeah, they'd be like, hey, did you see that hooker was in Schubert's trunk? And people would be like, yeah.
Which one?
Yeah, why do you think I'm voting for him?
Which one was that? What month?
That's hilarious. You're going to be my campaign guy.
Jimmy Shubert, 2020. Which one?
Let's do it.
Jimmy, you're great, bro. Thank you so much for coming on.
Listen, I kind of need this. Unfortunately, I would rather be sitting next to you than doing it over Zoom. You guys know I love you guys.
We love you, bro.
And so, but yeah, hopefully this will be over. So I'm doing June 4th, 5th, and 6th. I'm in Rochester, New York. And then also June 18th to the 21st, I'm in Phoenix. They're doing social distance seating at that club. It's club seats like 330. So they're going to let 75 people in a show with the social distancing thing. I mean, I'm not worried about any of this now. You know what's interesting? Check this out. I was supposed to go to Nigeria. I went in October. I went to India with Russell Peters. He had me opening the shows over there, which was an amazing life experience, unbelievable. And Russell is one of the greatest guys in show business. We go over there, and we were supposed to go to Nigeria on the run, so I had to go get shots. I got 3 shots. I got the pneumonia shot, but the doctor prescribed me hydroxychloroquine, azithromycin, and of course I have zinc tablets in my cabinet because I take my vitamins and stuff. But I got the hydroxychloroquine and azithromycin in my cabinet as we speak.
Yeah, for the malaria.
Because we were supposed to go to Nigeria. If you go to Nigeria, you have to actually take that stuff before you enter the country. You got to start taking about, like the day before. And so we never went to Nigeria. That part of the tour got canceled. And so I got it. You know what the street value on that stuff is? Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
but you know what? I will say this. I'm glad because I do a lot of those international tours like Armed Forces Entertainment, Department of Defense, Welfare, Morale, or Recreation. I've been to Korea and Afghanistan and all over the world. And I'm glad that I did that because those are trips that you can never replace. That's something that money doesn't buy. I got to travel the world. I mean, I'm not going to be doing a whole lot of that moving forward, but man, you know, Dubai, Afghanistan, Doha, Qatar. I mean, you know, Scotland, Ireland, Netherlands, Brussels, Cuba, Honduras, El Salvador. You know, I'm just, I'm glad that I was able to do some of that and get that world travel, you know, get the passport stamps.
Yeah.
That's not happening moving forward.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough one.
Well, you were a great guest.
Tell the people listening, go get my album, Jimmy Shubert, Zero Tolerance on iTunes. It is a hilarious piece of work. I'm very proud of it. Do yourselves a favor. If you want to laugh, if you miss laughing and comedy, go get that, man.
But
Peters gave me a great compliment.
We're never going to get out of this.
No, you're not. I'll shut up in a minute. You know, I know what you're trying to do. I gotta know where else to go, Richie. I gotta know where else to go.
You know what this is? You know what this is, Jimmy? You know what Jimmy's doing? Jimmy's the priest at Catholic Church that has nothing to do all Sunday. Yes. You're trying to get out to watch football, and he's dragging it out because he has nowhere else to be.
Yeah. Hey, let me tell you something, bro. I almost became a priest when I was little but until I found out that I work on Sunday, that was a deal breaker for me. That was a deal breaker for me. Listen, love you guys. Stay safe. Stay cool, man. I appreciate you having me on. It was fun to see you guys. All right?
We want to have you back soon. Tomorrow night, Mark. Who we got tomorrow? The magician?
Tomorrow, Denny Corby, magician.
Denny Corby's going to be here. He's tremendous. Tremendous. Going to do some great tricks. And Jimmy, anytime you want to come back, we will have you back. We love you, brother. Mark, what do you say? Anytime?
Well, first, everybody remember, check out Hello 422.
Yes.
Check them out. They were a great sponsor for a great show.
Yeah, and sponsor and help small businesses, people.
Help small businesses.
Yeah, shop local.
Right.
That's Drinks, Jokes, and Storytelling.
Last call. Thanks for listening to Drinks, Jokes, and Storytelling.